So, today is September 22nd. It's officially the first day of autumn, which is really awesome. This is my favorite time of year. And so this morning, I came down to Butcher Knife Park, right next to the creek. Got some beautiful fall colored leaves behind me, an excellent view in front of me behind the camera. And I thought that this was an inspiring place to be given the time of year. And so I wanted to talk about creation and the importance that creation plays in your day to day life as evolving as a human being. So I found that creation is one of those things that as a human being we have the ability to do, right? I feel like part of our purpose on this earth was to create. That's why you see so many things around us. Like if I don't even have to turn around. There's a fence that a human created. There's a house that a human created. There's a bench. There's metal that's been molded and milled and forged to shape. Even this camera, everything is a creation, right? And the thing with creation is it's the link between your physical or your mental mind, right, your imagination, and the physical world. And creation is what's going to link those two together. So it's really, as far as being a human being, it's a fundamental requirement of being a human being is that you have the ability to create, right? And so what I've found is that there's two ways that we can create in our day-to-day life. The first being a physical creation, which I would consider soulcraft. If you don't know about soulcraft, I highly suggest you start looking into it. Maybe give it a look on the internet, start reading some books about it. I'm reading right now Shop Class's Soulcraft by Matthew B. Crawford. Really awesome book, similar to Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance by Robert Pirsig. They're both kind of along the same lines, an inquiry into the value of work, right? Of physical work with your hands. In both of their case, with a motorcycle, which is going to require different cognitive thinking patterns in tandem with manual labor skills, right? And the reason why that's so important and why physical creation is so essential to evolving as a human being is because it's in our nature to create, right? So through creation, we can affect the lives of many different people. So I feel like part of our purpose, or at least my purpose on this planet, is to in some way impact the lives of other people in an inspirational, beneficial way, right? So in my own personal journey to become the best version of myself, kind of in my wake, part of that legacy and exploration of the elusive self is to influence the lives of other people in a positive way and lift them up and help other people realize their potential along the way. So it's a personal journey, but it has interpersonal offshoots that can affect other people on the side. And through physical creation, what you find is that there's an interaction between many different people in your creation. You'll find this with a car, right? So with a car, with a motorcycle, with really anything you interact with, your cell phone, all of that is you embodying your interaction with a physical creation, right? And so I feel like every day, in some way, we should be creating a physical creation. So part of the reason why I feel like so many people get upset with their jobs, or they get bored, or they hate going to work, or they're not motivated to perform, is because at the end of the day, a lot of these jobs, you're not creating anything of value, right? So when you get into a shop class and you're going to make a table and you spend the time measuring it and you're chiseling away and you're getting it perfect and you're fitting these joinery together and you're applying the wood glue yourself and you're doing all these things that take cognitive thinking in tandem with your physical expression of yourself through your hands, and you're linking them together in a way that when the final product is finished, you're going to have an immense sense of pride, higher self-confidence, right? You're going to feel better as a human being. All these positive emotions are going to flow and bubble up to the surface in a compound effect, right? If you continue to do this, those emotions are going to get more profound, and you're going to experience some serious growth. And you don't really get that if all you're doing is information work, information creation, right? So if you sit on the computer and you're emailing or creating God knows what you have to do in an office setting, right? What you might find is that at the end of the day, you're not creating anything really of value or of importance to yourself or to other people around you, to your peer group, to your family, to society, right? You're just continuing the well-oiled machine in some way. So I find that to combat that, it's so important to be able to physically create. But on the flip side, I've found there's also one more type of creation. And so there's physical creation, which is your soul craft. And then on the other hand, there's non-physical creation, which I've found is in the spirit of being able to create an interaction with someone, being able to create a specific type of influence on someone, being able to create emotions or feelings and deliver them in a way that's influential to other people. So in a way, these videos that I make are kind of my way of expressing a non-physical creation, because yes, I'm using my phone, yes, I'm using my body, but really the creation in itself is in the video that's been recorded and shared to the world. So it's a little different than, say, a wood-turned bowl or a joinery table, or any kind of soul craft, right? It's different in that sense, that the expression between me and the individual that's interacting with it is non-physical. There's a barrier. It's on a screen, right? But it's just as effective. That's my point, is whether you're out there in the world creating with your hands something physical that can be used, or on the other hand, you're creating something that's in itself non-dependent on being physical, right? It's through a physical machine like a computer or something, but the creation itself is inherent in its ability to inspire, to uplift, to motivate, to change someone's perspective, right? So both of those types of creation are going to be equally as valuable in developing yourself as a human, right? Because either way, it's going to come down to the cognitive thinking patterns and your ability to express those in the world, right? So that's kind of the skill that's being developed here. And what you're going to find is that every day, if you create something that has some kind of value to it, it's going to uplift you as a person. It's going to bring you to that next level. I think back to high school, right? So my senior year of high school, I wrote a book called Unpeeling the Orange. Really crazy book, filled with a bunch of short stories. It's really silly. None of them really make sense, but what I'm finding is actually when I go back and reread them, there's some pretty powerful stories, right? But the cool thing is that this was a physical creation. It was something that was tangible, that other people could pick up, they could feel, they could turn through the pages, they could read it, and they could be changed as a human as a result of that. So, and what that did is it's created a serious sense of pride in myself, and not in an egotistical kind of way. That's not the point here. It's not to be proud in an egotistical way. It's to be proud in the way that you've created something and brought it into the physical world that other people can interact with on a personal level. And I think that's so powerful. So that's kind of my message today, is to just look at in what areas of your life, maybe you're an artist and you kind of haven't been motivated to be painting or drawing or creating, or you're a writer and you haven't found the motivation to continue sitting down and writing. Whatever it is, it's so important that you reevaluate your creation and your role in this world to create, because I feel like deep down at a baseline level, everyone is here to create in some way, whether it's through soulcraft in a physical embodiment or it's a non-physical expression of themselves that's going to create different feelings, different emotions, different drives. They're both so critical. And the thing is an exploration of the elusive self. Through that, it's a journey with yourself, but an offshoot of developing yourself is that it's going to develop those around you, right? So this is why I don't think being selfish is a negative trait, right? I think being selfish is one of the best things you can do for yourself. Call me crazy, but this is why. If you're selfish with yourself and with your needs, with your desires, with your dreams, with your goals, if you're selfish about it and you only take the time to focus on yourself and develop those avenues of your own life, what's going to happen is you're going to become a more valuable person, right? How does business work? Business works by bringing value to the marketplace. And in the same way, society is a marketplace. Human interaction is a marketplace. And you're going to exchange the best rate if you've made yourself more valuable. And by doing that, you have to invest in yourself. And creation is a great way to invest in yourself, right? And through creation and developing yourself in a selfish way is actually going to make you more valuable in your interactions with other people, because you're not just some surface level person that's just so invested in other people that you don't offer any value. Do you know what I mean? So take this as you will with a grain of salt. I know it sounds crazy to say that I think it's important to be selfish, but I truly think it is. Maybe I'll make another video on that some other day. But part of being selfish, part of developing yourself as a human being and becoming the best version of yourself that you can is going to be catalyzed by your ability to create, right? Think about it. Everything in life is a creation. How valuable are you going to make yourself? What are you going to create? What are you going to develop that's going to inspire other people, that's going to uplift them, that's going to change them as a person, maybe change their perspective, change your perspective, right? So creation is just such an important thing. That's why I've fallen in love with making these videos, is that it's changing me as a person, but I've talked to people that in some way these have inspired them to change their way of thinking or motivate them through a rough spot. And that's really powerful. But again, like I said, this is a selfish expression of myself. This is me doing it for me, and in the wake, it's going to help other people, and that's a powerful thing. That's how you bring value to the marketplace. That's how you bring value to society and your friends, is by making yourself more valuable. And creation is a beautiful way to do it.